The second a baby is born, they're wrapped either in a pink blanket if they're a girl, or a blue blanket if they're a boy. From the second they're born, they're bombarded with a bunch of stereotypes and unrealistic expectations that they're supposed to live up to. So, as we look around, we see a majority of this classroom is females, which is why I decided to do this one, because I believe that we can all either relate to it or we all know a girl. The First Amendment states that equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the U.S. or any state on account of sex. Equality for both sexes have been studied by. I have a lot of articles. Like you can look at Forbes.com, socialjrank.org, rankers.com, or now.org, which is an economic website, and it's also given a lot of famous speeches, like one by Hillary Clinton. Today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the unrealistic expectations that the Disney movies give girls and boys as both. The growing statistics of girls versus guys in colleges and in schools, and how far women have come from before we couldn't wear jeans and to what we are doing now. Okay. When I was little, I used to this day I have a nephew, so I love watching the Disney movies. And my favorite one was The Beauty and the Beast, because she was really smart, she liked to read, and she seemed very independent, versus Cinderella and the other princesses that were very submissive and very dependent and just waiting for a guy to come and rescue her because she couldn't rescue herself. But little did I know that they were actually giving us false expectations of what a girl and a guy should be, which is one of the articles by socialjrank.org, which an author depicted and made it small on all the little subtitles and all the little things that the Disney movies give us. Like, for example, in The Little Mermaid, Ursula, which is the evil one, she tells Ariel how useless a voice is for a woman in winning a man. And Ariel meets a guy, which she's a mermaid, and she meets a guy on land. Yeah, Ariel's a mermaid. Yeah, sorry. Ariel's a mermaid, and she meets a man on the ground, and she decides to give up her entire life with her parents in the ocean to go live with a guy that she only had a conversation with for 3 minutes. All she knows is that he's handsome and he's rich, and that he loves sailing. And Cinderella cooks and cleans until a handsome prince finally comes and rescues her. And like I said earlier, Beauty and the Beast was one of my favorite ones because she loved to read. She seemed independent. She seemed different than these normal princesses, but actually, if you think about it, Beauty and the Beast wasn't about the beauty winning over the beast. It was the beast winning over the beauty because he had something to gain. If he could make her fall in love with him, then he could not be a beast anymore and be a regular human being, which gives girls the wrong expectation that they're supposed to be fragile and don't worry, you don't have to rescue yourself because the handsome prince is gonna come and rescue you. And it also gives guys the wrong expectation that they have to be tough and strong and fight off and be able to have their women depend on them. Okay, now that I talked to you a little bit about the false expectations, I'm going to talk to you about the growing statistics of women in college versus men. Okay, a little known fact for colleges is that in every college, for every one guy, there's 4 girls in a classroom for you. That's an average one. And statistics have really grown. So in private schools, a ratio of male to female is 40.7, that's the guys, to 59 52.3, which is the girls. And for public schools, it's 43.6 for the guys versus 56.4. So before women had to stay at home and take care of their children, but now we go to school, we get educated, and women are more likely to move on to receive a master's and a PhD versus a guy. This is another chart of women versus men in receiving master's degrees and receiving higher education other than beyond a bachelor's. So now that I talked to you a little bit about the education, I'm going to talk to you about how far women have come. So we all know that before, like our mothers, if you come from a traditional household, your mother she normally cooks and she stays home with the children, and normally the guys go out and work. But nowadays, single parent households are more common than before, and by now.com, an article on a website, it shows that the average household of a mother being the single parent is 84% in 2012 versus a single household run by just a single father, which is only 16%. So not only can women wear jeans now, which before we couldn't even wear, we can go into the military, we can fight, we don't have to depend on men to either support us financially or emotionally. We've come a long way, and it's just beginning. So today I talked to you guys a little bit about the stereotypes that Disney movies gives us, the growing statistics of women in colleges versus men, and how far women have come. So the next time you see a girl, just because she might be 5 feet and like 90 pounds versus a 6'2" guy that's 200 pounds, it doesn't make the guy any smarter or any better than her, because she can just do the same job as equally, if not better. Because one of my favorite quotes is, of course a woman doesn't work as hard as a guy, because we get it right the first time.